Scarves and Spikes Prematch Show. Atlanta United gets set to take on Toronto FC at Mercedes-Benz Stadium here in Atlanta. Sydney here at home. Tyler at the stadium. Henry maybe join us here a little bit later on, but Atlanta and Toronto coming up just after Tyler 4 p.m. Eastern time. And I always say this feels like it's been a while since Atlanta United's been at home, but I'm saying it again. Feels like it's been a long time since Atlanta United's been at home.
Yeah, it seems like it's coming in few and far between at this point.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, though, I think that has to be the main story. You're in front of fans. You might not have that many here, but the ones that are here, you need to give them something to hang on to.
Yeah. Actually, I lied. It's like been what? A month. Yeah, a month since they've been at home. So that's kind of right. It does seem like it has been a while. A month.
And the last home match that they were here, I wasn't here either. So
Oh.
I feel like this summer I've been here more for other teams than Atlanta United.
Yeah. Well, good to see you there for an Atlanta United match. You want to talk about these lineups?
Yeah, let's do it. Oh my God. Yep.
So Pedro Amador back in the starting 11. So that's one big thing. The other big thing, Tyler, Jaden Hibbert getting the start in goal for Atlanta United and plays with Brad Guzan and Saba Lupinitsa starting up top for Atlanta United. Of course, Latte Lot injured for today. TL Ray just coming back into the lineup, so we didn't think he'd be ready. So he is available for selection. Togashi available for selection, but Saba Lupinitsa, Tyler, up top at the number 9 for Atlanta United. Is this the tactical switch we needed? And by the way, Luke Brennan started at right wing, Miggy started at the left. But is this the tactical switch we needed in the lineup for Atlanta United to get right, I guess? And by the way, yes, Djordje Mihailovic is starting for TFC, but I feel like that's all we needed, right? Saba at the 9, Saba at top.
Saba's been at the 9 before, and it's actually not been a bad thing. I mean, you want Saba in places either on the right or closer to the top where he can get more involved.
Yeah.
Saba on the left. It doesn't work on the left. And don't let the graphic that Atlanta United put out fool you. I doubt very seriously there's any chance Miguel Almiron is playing as the up top striker.
Right.
He's probably going to be playing kind of alongside Moranchuk, closer to that right, while Moranchuk plays the true number 10.
Yeah.
But yeah, Saba up top, Luke Brennan on the left. The only one that I just kind of don't like, honestly, is Tristan Muyumba. I feel like Will Riley should get that spot.
I agree. Henry, what do you think about the lineup, just from what you've seen?
It's different.
Yeah, just a little.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what I was expecting, but it wasn't that. I mean, look, we've been asking for a while for Saba to be on the right, for Brennan to be on the left, and we're getting that. And I guess we were always assuming, like, okay, well, if you're doing that, you have to sacrifice one of Miggy or Moranchuk, and you're not sacrificing Moranchuk with the goals he's scoring.
Yeah.
But I guess Miggy's a striker now. And look, honestly, at the point where we are in this season, you might as well try anything. Literally, there's no downside at this point. You are very close to being eliminated from the playoffs either way. So yeah, it's great. And also, I love to see Jaden Hibbert starting.
Yeah.
We heard from Chris Henderson during his media availability after the window. He did kind of mention that he would like to see him play a little bit more. And he also mentioned that Brad Guzan knows that the team is looking for a new number 1 for next season. So I guess it's clear that Brad is not going to be the number 1 moving forward, whether he's going to be involved in the team at all. And so Jaden Hibbert, in the 2 games he's played this season, he's had positive showings. Yeah. He's looked good, right? Now we're going to see if he can do it again. If he continues to earn minutes in a sense. Again, it's not hard given some of the stuff that we've seen for Brad.
Yeah.
And there's no knock on him because, again, he's a legend. But
yeah,
it's just tough. And again, I'm with you, Tyler. I'm not sure about Tristan. I do know that, Alzate, he doesn't seem to be 100% fit. You do have Will Riley, and so I'm not sure, but yeah, we'll see how it goes because
Right.
this could go either way.
I'm glad we get to see Luke Brennan start. I mean, he's shown a lot to us collectively anytime he's been on the hill, pretty much. So it's good to see him back in the starting 11. And then look at this lineup graphic, Tyler. You're kind of talking about it, but it shows Almiron up top. So be interested to see again, like you said, how that movement is up top collectively for Atlanta United. Another thing we forgot to point out, Pedro Amador is back in the 11. I didn't think he'd start, guys, to be honest with you, but he's back in the 11. But you don't really have a choice, right? You don't have a lot of depth. Looks like Lennon will be starting on the bench. So
What does that say about Brooks Lennon, though?
yeah, no, that's true.
He's
That's
super
true.
gone. That's what it says. I mean, what are your options besides?
Yeah, or maybe
it's
maybe the
Lennon
injury's
or
a little bit worse. Yeah.
Yeah, because Nick Sesek is also he's trained on the left side, so he could technically play either side. But yeah, I mean, I think it's better to just have someone that's his natural side. Now, one thing that I will say with Ronald Hernandez, I think one of the major upsides of having him start is the connection that he had built with Miguel Almiron on the right side. With Miggy no longer on the right side, I'm curious, how he's going to do. How does he connect with Saba is my main thing. And also, with Miggy being the number 9, he has a habit of gravitating towards the ball, right? He has a habit of coming back a lot. And I think, that needs to kind of erase that from his mind for this position, because if he starts coming back way too far, this isn't going to work.
Right.
He needs to stay forward, and at that point, that could help you exploit his pace a little bit more. Yeah, I'm interested to see how this goes, but man, Moranchuk to Miggy would be an interesting goal.
Right.
I'll just leave it at that.
The current number 10 connected with the former number 10.
It is weird, man. Like I said when we first got on, that I don't think this lineup graphic really shows what you're going to see on the pitch. I mean, I see maybe if you're using Miggy as a false 9, which is weird considering everything else that's on the pitch. But I don't know that you take away what Miggy has on the right with Ronald Hernandez, like you said, and Moranchuk and Slish, because that's worked, to then essentially, in theory, put him on an island up top. Now, like you said, Henry, he's going to drift back to the ball. He's going to get involved, which is why I say maybe he acts more like a false 9. But then you're going to have Moranchuk taking up that space. Moranchuk is going to drift a little bit to the right so he can cut back in on his left foot. Is Saba going to be the target guy more up top? I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see. And then back on the other side, yeah, I mean, Pedro being back, I think is great. But Jaden Hibbert, man, I hope he has another great game. I would love nothing more.
Yeah.
For this man to keep a clean sheet.
And
make me so happy.
And I think that's an interesting kind of nuance is when we see this team's shape, what does the pressing look like, right? Is it like usual where the number 10 and the number 9 are the first line of press?
Right.
Is it, do they essentially work as two kind of dueling false 9s, if that's even a thing? I don't.
False 18.
Yeah, I mean,
why not at this point?
But seriously, like, would they kind of work more like a side-by-side thing where they're kind of going forward together a little bit? Maybe Miggy drops back to kind of try to get the ball to Moranchuk, like play off of him in a sense, right? Like come back a little bit, play off of Moranchuk so that Moranchuk can get the ball a little bit closer to goal. Maybe that might be part of the plan. I don't know. Again, there's I don't think Toronto has any idea, like, whatever they were planning, like preparing for against this Atlanta side, like, I think this just totally throws them for a loop at least. So
I wonder.
We'll
that
see.
was kind of like when I was looking at this initially, I was like, maybe this ends up playing more like a weird 4-2-2-2. And I know, like, I'm not a big fan of getting like stuck on the numbers because it's going to change. but I like kind of like what you're saying. I think maybe you end up because Slish and Muyumba, they're going to be that double pivot, so they're going to be playing alongside each other. Not Lennon. Luke Brennan typically plays when he's playing. He's on an island by himself, but maybe Pedro Amador on that left hand side gives him somebody else to play off of, and not be just on an island, so he can be that second one, kind of in that middle with either Miggy or Saba on the far right, and then either Miggy or Saba, the one that's on the right, alongside Moranchuk, closer to the top. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's a lot of ways it can play out, and I don't know that we know any of them until they kick off.
Yeah, and Tyler, we were talking about it earlier, like the idea of maybe, seeing Alexi as a second striker in a two-striker system. I don't know if that's what we're going to see tonight. It doesn't look like it based on this lineup, but if they do have that front two, that's potentially what you could see happening, because Moranchuk, I think he's not what we've seen from him in the past few games. It's not necessarily his chance creation that has shined, right? It's more of his shooting, because he's been able to score these golazos. And so if you could get the ball to him closer to goal, maybe that is to your benefit. That's to his benefit. You play off of his strengths. I don't know, man. Again, there's a lot of possibility for this lineup.
Real quick before we move on, just want to let everyone know we have a live watch along going on in our Discord channel. Only way you can get our Discord channel is by going to patreon.com/scarves and spikes. Subscribing today. Every level, every tier gets you access to our Discord, so you can hop on there, chat with us. Join the live watch along that's going on in there in one of the video channels, one of the chat channels on Discord. So again, patreon.com/scarves and spikes. Tommy is hosting that. So if you aren't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe right now. And again, all three tier levels get you access to that. Also tonight at 9, we'll have a regularly scheduled match reaction show at 9 p.m. So we look back at this match, win, lose, or draw. So no 3 takeaways this evening after the match like we normally do, but we will be on, as we are every Sunday night, with our match reaction show at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So join us for that on youtube.com/scarves and spikes. By the way, like, subscribe, share our content. We say that all the time. It definitely helps us out a lot as we try to get you the best coverage of Atlanta United available. Let us know in the chat as well what your last minute predictions are, especially based on what you've seen from the lineup. Matt asking in the chat, just talking about this lineup and just the tactical changes that have been made. Isn't this stuff that we should have been trying 2 months ago? And I think that's a good point. I mean, where's the kind of experimentation and sort of the tactical tweaks and sort of the lineup decisions we saw tonight? That where was that? Earlier, I feel like Dylan was more comfortable with the team that he put out, his starting 11 that he put out. That being said, hasn't performed, as we all know. But I wonder, Tyler, you said, it's going to be, home matches have been few and far between. You don't have a lot of them left after tonight. Give the fans something to cheer about. Give the fans something over these next how many matches? 8 matches, to come away saying, hey, I'm pretty confident about the direction of Atlanta United moving forward. So, we'll see what happens. I mean, it's interesting changes, but we'll see. Tequila saying 2-1 Toronto, saying Miranchuk is going to score. See a 2-2 prediction in here. Saba Bray says Chris 4-1. So seeing some split sentiment, I guess, between Atlanta United and Toronto FC.
I think fans are just ready to see something different, like Matt was saying. I mean, we've said it for months now. Like, you got to try something different. Everybody has been either a fan of, or maybe when you were a kid, a part of a team where it was like, hey, dude, it ain't working. It ain't working.
Yeah.
We need to do something drastic, because the worst thing you can do in a sports match of any variety is lose. And if you're consistently losing, you probably need to do something different.
Yeah.
And I mean, I like it. I think, this is this is one of those things like it might be too little too late. And it's kind of like what Zach is saying in the chat. Like, it's the lineup change of a team that knows your season's over and a manager who knows he's fighting for a job. And that may very well be true.
So,
But at the end of the day, this needed to happen a while ago. You have young, hungry guys that want to play. They want to be out there. And Jaden Hibbert being one of them, I understand why maybe he hasn't got the time. Dude, Will Riley needs to be out there. Luke Brennan has been getting time. He needs to consistently be out there. And as far as the ones that, if you're going to insist on keeping the DPs out there for every minute almost of every game, you got to change them up somehow. And so, yeah, I mean, I'll take it.
So let me ask you guys this. Based on the comments that Chris Henderson made, and Henry, you were there in training. You had a chance to talk to Chris Henderson along with the rest of the media. So that's like the vote of confidence wasn't as strong as it was sort of to the point that Zach made in the chat. But I feel like the vote of confidence wasn't as strong as it was earlier in the season when Garth Lagerwey said that Ronnie Dial was safe. I don't know if you kind of felt the same thing or if you felt different. I mean, he did say it takes a little time for things to click, that the club is being patient, but then he said, if we can show that we're going in the right direction is the key. So I don't know. What do you feel about that? I kind of feel like, there's some thought about if Atlanta United can't show any semblance of momentum down the stretch here, there's some thought around parting ways with Ronnie Diala. I don't know if you heard the same. I don't know if you heard that as well, or if I'm kind of making that up, or what are your thoughts on that?
No, I think it's definitely fair to say that when he answered that question, when he was talking about Ronnie, it definitely was not as enthusiastic or as what would be the word? He didn't say it with as much conviction, I would say. He wasn't as set in like, oh yeah, we are 100% behind Ronnie. That's not the vibe you got. You got the vibe of a guy who's like, yeah, we've been giving him the benefit of the doubt. He has been in this position. He is new. And I think they recognize that the roster also needs some work. But I think he also leaves the door open. And this, like at the end, that bit where he says, right, this is still a results business, right? You need wins. Right?
Yeah.
In this line of work, wins are what determine your success. That part says a lot about kind of what Henderson is looking at here. Yeah. And you recognize that the wins haven't been there and that this team, this was a team that last season let Rob Valentino go because they were convinced, as they said, this roster could have won an MLS Cup. And he didn't win MLS Cup, right? That was kind of the vibe. So they went and got a guy who could win MLS Cup. Well, the roster, in theory, has improved, and you are worse, significantly worse than you were. And so I think there is also the sense of they're taking that into account as well. But yeah, I think certainly the door is open for if, the results aren't there in the last few games of this season, potentially that could be something where this front office has to kind of backpedal on what they said at the beginning of the season and where they have to kind of go, okay, maybe we need to go in another direction because clearly this just isn't it.
Yeah, I kind of am sensing that too. I don't know, Tyler, what do you think? What are your thoughts of what you saw about those comments that Chris Henderson made the other day on Friday? You kind of feeling the same way, or kind of feeling differently?
I think so. I think Chris Henderson. I think the dude's a little more icy than people give him credit for from a business perspective. Like he's super calm and like super low key, but like the dude wants to win. And Jackson cameo from behind. No, I think he wants to win. He knows what he's got to do to get a team where it needs to be because he's done it multiple times before. Now, none of the front office, none of the fans predicted that this season would be this bad. You can have all the leeway that you want. But ultimately, what defines a soccer club anywhere in the world is whether or not it's winning. winning trophies is one thing, but winning, like the fact that you have, on one hand, you can count how many Atlanta has this season is not good. It's not even kind of acceptable. And so, yeah, I don't think Chris Henderson as essentially the guy in charge because, Garth being out with his sickness and everything, I don't think he can sit there and look at anybody and say anybody's job is safe.
Yeah.
With the team having played the way that they have this season. Now, an off-season in MLS especially can do wonders. You never know what's going to happen the next year, as we saw this year with Atlanta, maybe just in the wrong direction. But, no, I agree. I think you can't go up in front of media and say, yes, our coach, who has won a grand total of 4 games, 5, this season, is safe, no matter what. I don't think you can do that. So, yeah, I will see. But these final few matches of the season are going to be very, very big for Ronnie Dowling.
No, for sure. Some other predictions from the chat. Connie saying 1-1 tie. Swoop GT saying 1-1 as well. Miranchuk scoring. And then Isaac saying 3-1. Omer saying 5-2 Atlanta. So I don't know if that will happen, Omer. Omer I always feel like Omer comes up with the outrageous predictions, but I don't know if it's kind of a broken clock situation there. I don't know if it's going to be a broken clock situation where eventually one of them will hit, but we'll see. I admire his confidence.
If we have a 7-goal game in this building today, I might not make it home.
Again, patreon.com/Scars and Spikes. Get access to our Discord and access to our watch along channel there. It's a lot of fun. We've been doing it over the past few weeks. Tommy has been hosting that, so definitely feel free to stop by there. Like, subscribe, share our content, of course, on YouTube. Please hit the like button on YouTube. Again, it helps us do so many great things. Of course, scarvesandspecs.com, as usual, is where to go. Tyler has it on his back. Get our post-match coverage, recaps, all of that good stuff, after-match conversation, all of that. And go to the store as well. There's a link there. You can get Tyler's shirt and his hat. Not his exact shirt, his hat, of course, but the one he's wearing right now. So
I'll sign one if y'all want to. It'll be worth all of 2 pennies.
Right, exactly.
I didn't have to agree with that so quickly, but all right.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that.
No, you're
no.
Hi bye in the chat saying 3-1.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone for stopping by. We appreciate you as always.
MLS Monday tomorrow too.
Yes. We appreciate
have a lot to talk about on MLS Monday.
A lot to talk about tomorrow. Absolutely.
Just a little bit.
The reminder, 9 p.m. Eastern for our pre-match or post-match reaction show tonight. And we will see you there.